Hello and welcome back to the Time Sweeps podcast. My name's Gary.
I'm Wyatt.
And I'm Connor. We hope you've had a fantastic Thanksgiving. This week we're talking about pet peeves.
And we're back.
Hello.
Shalom.
So, pet
Shaloms.
peeves.
Pet peeves.
What really gets you in your pants? Oh, that sounds bad.
I mean,
was gonna say, what really gets you in the back of your seat? What bothers you?
I mean,
What-
I have one
What
that
gets you in your back seat, Wyatt?
I have a pet peeve that
My
pretty
legs.
much every tall person has, and that's
People
the
saying you're so tall.
no, that's the how tall are you question,
Oh.
or
It's like crap. Like, how's the weather up there?
yeah, that's I hate that, and I know every tall person hates that.
Yeah.
it's because it's awful.
Like, it's just it gets old. One day, I counted how many times I got asked how tall I was in a day, and it was like a really heavy day that day. It was just a coincidence that I was counting that day. It was like 35 times
Holy
at school. At
Holy
school,
shit.
oh,
like
there's a certain point where I get it, but I have been in public and I've seen people close to your height.
right. I'm not the only one, and that's
Right.
what I'm always like. Am I the first tall person you've ever met?
Like, imagine if they go somewhere and they meet a bunch of tall people. Do they ask every single one of them their
Right.
height? It seems weird to single out a person and be like, "Wow,
We need to
What's
make
your
you
height?
we need to make you a shirt. I'm 6'7". Stop asking me.
Right.
Imagine if you did that to a little person.
Yeah, just walk. Well, how's the weather down there?
You'd be
How's the
you'd be
weather
called
down
rude
there?
and insensitive because it's
Right.
like, oh, that's a little person. You can't do that. It's like, he's a tall person. You can't do that. Think about how he feels.
Right, and it's just it's a lose-lose situation. And then I'll let someone else go.
Can't make fun of tall people. Can't make fun of little people. This is my Joker origin story.
I have another pet peeve relating to height, but I'll let someone else go. And
I was gonna say, I'm sitting on the edge of my seat to know that now.
well,
I was gonna say,
you're gonna have to wait, because someone else has to go.
I've got a few, Connor. Do you wanna go with one first, or should I just start
I mean,
listing one off?
I have an issue with this as well, but I'm trying to stop doing it. But people who say, and I understand this is kind of how people speak sometimes, and I'm not trying to dog on people, but sometimes if you say like several thousand times in a paragraph, like if you're saying, oh my god, like this, like oh my, like it's like just say like once. If you're making a simile, just say it once. Just please.
Just once.
I sometimes do that with
I mean, if I'm getting if I'm
like-
getting excited, yeah,
like
and
we'll do
is
this
fine.
and then we'll go over and then we'll because it's just like I'm speaking before my brain
Yeah.
can think of more words.
But
Yeah,
and I think that's a lot of people deal with that.
yeah,
Like they just start talking way too fast, like their brain can't
and
keep up with the
right.
yeah,
The word-
like
the
like
words.
is the new kind of,
right.
and I understand it. It's just
Scoob.
it's just
Like
it just like
Like
if it happens too many times, I don't give a shit if it's only a few times, but if it happens more, then
there's a dam in your brain,
If
and
there's,
the
like-
levee breaks at a certain point.
I keep on doing it. If there's several, I mean, I get excited about things and I'll do it, and that's fine. If you're excited, fine.
sometimes I'll get stuck like on the word like or the word and I
Yeah.
can't say anything else, so I'll be like and I can't. I literally my brain will not
Yeah.
let me.
Just
Yeah, it's
say,
like
if I
say
can't get
it's
words.
words out, I just start
buffering. Your
waving my
brain
hands.
is buffering.
It's like a buffer.
It's the spinning wheel of death.
Right. Exactly.
Rainbow wheel.
The rainbow.
The rainbow wheel on Mac. Yeah, I hate that thing.
I have a big pet peeve, and I see it way too often in a lot of places. And I know some people have they have to do this, just the way it is. And then there's other people that are like, my God, I know you can fix this. Why don't you? Chewing with your mouth open.
Okay.
because I can hear it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a crap about saying it. It's the sound. It's the sound I can't stand. Because, like, some people I know, like, their teeth are too big, so it literally causes a problem. Like, somebody who has, like, 2 front teeth are too big, and it's hard for them to close their mouth completely sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
It's whatever. But there's some people, like, I was actually at a Thanksgiving meal, the person not that far from me when they were eating, it's like, I know you can chew with your mouth closed. And I can just hear them. And they were, like, had something crunchy, and it's like, please, for the love of God, I will come across this table and hold your lips together as you chew.
So you like hate ASMR?
Yeah, certain ASMRs are like really
Pickle chewing ASMR.
yeah, it's hard to listen to. It's just like this is like I luckily I have the luxury of, avoiding it,
Right.
but like it's so I don't understand that kind of ASMR stuff
Yeah.
because it triggers that
Yeah.
pet peeve in me. It's like, please, I beg you, chew with your mouth closed.
Yeah.
And then, like, there's ASMR videos, and they're like, mashed potatoes open mouth chewing video, 2 hours long. It's like, you were like,
Ew.
that also falls
First
into
of
that
all, those
mug-
mashed potatoes are ice cold by the time you finish this video.
Right.
And
that
there's
falls-
nothing worse than ice cold mashed
Oh
potatoes.
God.
This all
Ice
fuels in
cold
that area of,
icing.
like, what are they called, that type of video?
Not icing.
Oh.
Gravy. God.
I was like, okay,
Icing.
Mukbang.
mukbangs,
They fall into
like
that same
avocado,
area to me.
avocado.
It's just like, I need you to, like, dude, I eat a lot, but, like, I eat with my mouth closed unless I'm, like, poor table manners of, like, saying something with crap in my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
I aim to always chew with my mouth closed, and I know you guys can. And then there's, like, YouTubers online that mukbang, and they're just, like, sitting there, these chicken wings, oh my God. It's like, I need you to put it away. Put your tongue away. Behind the teeth, behind the gums, close the lips, chew your chicken, shut up.
Or the hot Cheeto girls must have made you really mad.
Oh, dude, you like
I know exactly.
like the exact situation that he's referencing. You can hear them 3 tables away. It's not like you're in a classroom that's quiet. No, we were in a cafeteria, a loud cafeteria. And I'm serious when I say you could hear them louder than some of the people at your own table. Not like talking. I couldn't hear them talk, usually.
But crunch on their
But the Cheetos, I could hear the Cheetos, and I could hear, like, oh, it's like if you could chew with your lips closed, I wouldn't hear the Cheetos 4 tables away.
God.
Like, I can't even hear, like, the person next to me say something. I can't hear the Cheeto people say something, but I can hear them chewing. And it's painful. Because my brain also will, like, fixate on something. Have you guys have had that?
Yeah,
You'll, like,
I'm
fixate on
ADHD
something.
as hell, yeah.
You'll sit there and you'll, like, space out 1,000-yard stare like you just came back from the war staring at the middle of your table, and all you hear in the distance is crunch, 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 crunch.
The prophecy.
Cheeto noises. And it's, like, it's really hard to get over that for me.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
You're getting flashbacks.
yeah. I'm having
Getting numb flashbacks.
It's like thinking about Cheetos in the back of my head. All I hear is now, 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 now. Suffolk Sport, silver spoon in hand.
God.
So
Oh, go on.
okay, so like my other height. This is the last pet peeve that I have that is height related. I think this one's like kind of like a not like towards me, but it's like towards like I hate when people are like, "Oh, I'm 5'6" and 3/4," or "I'm 5'6" and a half," "I'm 5'6" and a fourth." I don't care. You're 5'6".
Right.
Okay, if you're 5'6" and 3/4, just say you're 5'7". I don't care personally.
Just
I
round
don't care.
up.
Round up. But me personally, I don't know if it's because I'm tall. I round down. Like, so I'm really 6'7" and 3/4. But I don't care enough to tell people that. I just say, yeah, I'm 6'7". Like, who cares about the 3/4 of an inch or the half an inch?
Right. The only time that I can think of that matters is if you're a Star Wars collector. That's because all Star Wars figures should originally came in a 3 3/4 inch.
Mm-hmm.
Different topic. But adding that on there, unless you're trying to be
I'm not talking about miniatures. I'm talking about
I
your
know,
height,
actual people.
people saying that.
It's if it's a little kid, it's okay, they're just trying to feel better.
I'm 5'2.5".
But
I don't care. You're 5'2".
Grown adults doing it.
Right.
Anybody over the age of 9.
I hope we are personally attacking someone that is listening to this.
I kind of hope so.
Because
unless they say it's
stop
to be
doing
funny.
that. Stop doing that.
And even then.
Because honestly, no one cares about that extra 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch. No one really cares.
I'd agree with that.
I say if you're 3/4, you could round up.
Because I think
if you're at a half, people might catch you on rounding up, but I don't care. You could round up. But if you have a 1/4 of an inch, just shut up.
Because, there's you've seen the memes online too, where people are if you're 5'11", you're actually 5'10". You're not 6 foot.
Right.
And it's just that's what I think of when I think of people saying oh, I'm 5'2" and 3/4. It's no one's gonna say 3/4. They're going to call you 5-footer.
Yes.
No one cares enough, and they're not going to take into regard how much taller you actually are. They're going to be oh, you're either short or tall.
Right.
It'd be different if you were literally a little person and you're 3'11". People would be much more. It's really, you're 3'11", or if somebody's 8'4.5". That's a huge difference. But if you're quote unquote average size from you to 4'11", 6'7" to 4'11",
right.
That's what I'll call average. It's those ranges. Take
right.
it or leave it.
Yeah.
Adding little percentages onto that, there's no point.
Yep.
Unless you're talking in centimeters, because then that's literally.
Well, centimeters.
How
there
they
is no
work.
I feel like they don't even consider doing halves in centimeters because half of a centimeter.
Well, it's a decimal system, so I mean,
right.
you just say such and such to 3 point whatever, because that reads out just the same.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it works out. I mean, that's
right.
the only place I can think of where that would matter, because that is part of the system of measurement. But if you're talking inches, it's just no, just shut up.
Shut up.
Just
shut up.
Stop. Stop.
Shut up.
Because it breaks down into sixteenths, and then it
God, I hate sixteenths.
and then it breaks down into increments of 12.
I'm 5'6" and 7/8.
Yeah,
Go home.
There's a pet peeve of mine. The standard measurement system sucks.
The American
hurts.
standard, the American measurement system.
Yes, standard.
Yeah.
It's called standard.
Oh, yeah.
Is it not?
Yeah,
I
it's
might
The
be
freedom
standard.
system. I've heard it could be called as
I
well
hate that
as a
too.
joke.
American standard, yeah.
16ths. Why?
Well, not even just 16ths, then 12ths.
That's not better. My point is, okay.
It goes from 16th to increments of 12.
I don't
Any of
care.
those. Why? Why would you do that? Why would you make it like that?
I think we should just stop making fractions after fourths.
I'd agree with that.
No
Just-
fraction after fourths
We don't
exists.
care. In a standard system, it's not everyone's building something to the precise inch.
Right.
Quarter less than a 16th of an inch.
Right.
I have to disagree because I make things.
Within a 16th of an inch?
I mean, in robotics, yeah.
This is one of those scenarios where it's yes, robotics would be that.
I mean, sometimes it has to be,
Right.
or else
But
it
hear
just
me out.
won't fit. You give it a little bit, like a 16th of a leeway.
And you know how much easier it'd be if you were using decimals?
Well, yeah, metrics is obviously going to be easier. It's just it's easier to read, it's easier to figure out because it's in increments of 100, so the calculations are obviously easier.
Exactly.
But I don't know, it's just
Standard is awful.
I know.
The
it's
use
awful.
of
How many
standard is
countries actually
awful.
use it now? Isn't it 5?
I think we're the only one that use it. There's only 3 countries that don't use metric.
I mean, there's
Us,
there's
India,
few,
and someone else.
There's a few countries in Africa that don't use it.
No, I thought there was only 3 total countries that did not use metric.
Hold on, we asked.
Because that's what I
Google.
remember being
We
told
have
in
to Google.
classes from 8th grade to senior year.
We asked to Google.
But you know how awful it would be to switch right now for America?
That's the
be
thing. They were
freaking
preparing
terrible.
for it 50 years ago, and they never did.
Because people didn't want to switch because, 1, Americans hate change.
They really
And
do.
then 2, people like my dad who have been in the construction industry for 25 years don't want to relearn how to mark stuff, even though they probably have dealt with it in the past. But still, they don't want to. Like, it's what they know, right? People don't.
It is what they
people
know.
they grew up with it. They don't want to. They don't want to change it because it'd be too hard to, you know.
I think we should be willing to change. If we changed ammo sizes on everything we use, from like police to military, we can willingly change the way we measure things to match the rest of the world.
It'd take freaking years, though.
It wouldn't. I really don't think it would. I really think it would not take as drastic as people would. They'd just be dramatic about it. They'd be like, why are we learning a different system? We don't have to. It's like, no, it's easier. Trust me. Literally, the amount of learning you put in those 25 years will be thrown down the toilet, not because we're changing it, but because you'll see that it's easier. It's like a salmon trying to swim up a river, only to find out that it could have went around.
Right, but think of all the documents that exist that are using the American standard, so like that aren't that would have to be changed. Like probably like so many years worth of documents that would need to be changed.
Yeah.
Argument to that. If we need to change the documents, most of those changes can be done with a formula. Just like quick plug-in.
Oh, shit.
What?
Oh, did you see the dog toy thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I didn't send that to you guys because I was
Yeah.
afraid you'd get upset with me for sharing a spoiler for the new Spider-Man movie.
There's a dog toy package with.
Hold on. I don't want to pause, so we're going to keep this in here. Right now, skip up a few seconds or minutes just in case. We can check later when this is uploaded. But Connor, go ahead and explain so that way just talk about it to Gary real quick.
Okay, so basically, there's a Bark dog toy, like the dog toy, like it's like Loot Crate but for dogs,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
And they had a Spider-Man themed box this month, and on the back package.
Oh my god, I had a friend get that. I should ask her if she has
there's
that package, that exact one.
God damn it! God, fuck.
I could explain it from there.
Basically, there's a photo of Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man on the back package.
Like, you see Tom Holland's Spider-Man as like the major one, and he's being like shoved between like different pictures as if it's being torn up.
Boy.
And he's like in different colors and different parts of his suits.
I was supposed
And
to
then
be
you see
Googling the other thing.
a small sliver of Tobey Maguire's head, and it's like, that's enough for me to have confirmation, I think.
Yeah.
Because if that's a mistake, that's one weird mistake, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
like if he's not in that movie and you made that mistake on that, that's just weird.
I mean, they might be using old stuff, but like, why would there be Daily
Why would
Bugle?
they edit in him?
Why would
on
there
it?
be Daily Bugle newspapers?
If it's an old picture, why would they edit in Tom Holland?
Did you see? And did you guys see that? That TikTok I sent you. The Daily Bugle has a TikTok account. That's like, I'm gonna consider it canon stuff because like it's verified and like it's the original
it's
people.
Just promotion.
But like I like it. I hope they keep doing it.
I was gonna say, I hope there's a lot of stuff they just do.
Alright,
with
what
it.
was I supposed to Google?
How many countries are on the metric system?
Do not
How
use metric.
many countries?
Anyway, back to this whole thing.
I think it'd be much easier to turn
Imperial
over.
System.
I don't think I don't
3
know. There's too
countries.
many 'cause
Boom.
3 countries that don't use it.
The U.S., Liberia,
Liberia.
and Myanmar.
Myanmar?
Myanmar, yeah.
I thought it was India.
No.
Those people lied to me.
I don't know. I don't think it'd be as easy and of a change as people think. I think it would take a couple years, because like people who are like learning math, like little kids, it'd be the easiest for little kids to learn
Right.
because they are still learning the regular system that we use.
And even then, I think I learned metric in school better than I learned standard. And I get yelled at I would get like teachers annoyed with me, and they were like, "Why don't you understand this?" And I was like, "I don't know, it's in inches." And they were like, "Why don't you know inches?" And it's like, because I was taught metric.
Well, and
You've
see,
taught
like
me metric for 5 years.
well, like it's like
I've never learned standard in school. I'm serious.
I mean, I always learned just doing like woodworking or something with like some project where we use tape measures and stuff. Like I remember going into woodworking class, like Woods 1, junior year because I just needed something to be filled. Like I needed
class.
I needed a class, and like they were teaching us how to read a tape measure, and I was like, do people really not know how to read tape measures?
No, people don't, and it's sad.
It's because the fractions.
I have to teach, or I had to teach a few kids in robotics how to read a tape measure.
That's so weird to me because to me it's just like that's always been a thing to read a tape measure.
Yeah.
So like it's just weird for me to just think that people, but like you think about it, and, like what have they ever had to use one for before? Because like me, like I just have a dad who likes to make stuff, you know, or like work on the house.
Right. There's always
Yeah.
some, like, usually it's people that don't know how to read one or people that have just never done anything
Right.
at all
Yeah.
with one.
Yeah.
Like, normally when I make something, I'm usually using just a ruler because when I
Mhm.
make something that's never really that big, you've seen it, all the plastic styrene models I make.
Right.
They're not that big, so I just use either, like, full inches or centimeters if I need to get much, like, more intricate.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Because normally, though, as my caliper, I think I have it set to metric as well. So it keeps it nice and flush with all the other measurements I take with the metric system.
Right.
And it's all small enough, and I never really do anything bigger that it doesn't matter much. Although,
Okay.
whenever I look at car stuff, I'm very, very confused.
So back to other pet peeves. You know what a pet peeve I have? You know
Mm.
what pet peeve I have?
What's that, Connor?
Whenever you whenever you squat down and your jeans rip, man.
That's a pretty big one.
Yeah. You know why? Because there's a freaking hole in my jeans.
I was going to say, I almost said something completely different. You know why? Because you got balls of steel!
You know, it's another big pet peeve when you're in like a prison and you drop the soap.
Hate it when that
I
happens.
hate it when that happens.
Every week.
I actually have a hole
no.
in my jeans. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. It pissed me off the other day. I squatted down at work and I heard a rip. I was like, God damn it.
You know what another pet peeve of mine is?
What's that, Gary?
Plumber's crack. That is my least favorite
get-
thing.
Oh,
Because
God.
I keep a very I try to know if my butt crack is showing or not.
Right. Usually you can tell.
Only for the
Like,
ladies.
people that don't tell, people that can't tell that their butt crack is showing is really odd to me. Like, do you not feel...
Do you not feel the wind?
Yeah.
Do you not feel the wind? Do you not care? Because it's staring at me right now.
Because I could see your chocolate eye.
Like it is. You
I'm
are
having a staring
You are
contest.
hurting me, sir,
With-
with your crack.
I'm having a staring contest with your dingleberry,
Yeah, I was
sir.
going to say,
With
yeah,
your
sir,
dingleberries.
I need you to put away your brown balloon knot. I'm having a staring contest with it.
Ugh. This is okay. This one kind of went too far. But
Wait, was it after I said balloon knot?
yes. And another pet peeve that I have
I
is
love
when
freaking
people
that one out.
when people unplug things by the cord. Like when they
I'd agree
grab
with
the
that.
cord and like unplug, especially like a three-prong
Three-prong?
a three-prong outlet like thing, and like they just grab it
And yank.
and yank the cord. I'm like, that hurts me so much.
I mean, I understand there's moments where you have to.
Yeah,
No.
there's moments where you have to, and I think there's one particular
No, because
case
it's
that I
only
just-
like usually like 3 or 2 more inches forward, and you have the front of it.
That's what I was going to get to. If I'm using the vacuum and the cord is like this side of the room and I'm over
You
here,
just yank it.
I'm yanking it.
It's not good for the outlet. It's not good for the cord.
No, it's not. It's really not.
Yeah.
And I haven't done it in a long time.
The outlet, like, so you know those outlets that like you just plug the thing in, and then your brick or for your phone charger just falls out.
Yeah, those are why.
I bet that's from people just yanking the cord out of the thing.
Probably.
Like that it just bothers me, and every time I see it, it makes me cringe.
Yeah.
And you know what else is a pet peeve of mine?
What's that?
People intentionally getting in awkward situations.
Intentionally.
Intentionally.
Oh God.
Like, because I hate awkward situations so much, man. They make me hurt. They make me tense up into like a ball that I just want to curl up on the floor when I'm in an awkward situation. And people, specifically my coworker, will either get me in awkward situations or will always try to start confrontation, and he knows how much I hate confrontation.
Oh, Luke does that to you?
Yes.
I think we were avoiding saying his name for street whatever.
But
I mean, he doesn't care.
he'll do that, and he knows I hate it, and I hate, like, that is like a pet peeve of mine. Like he just intentionally.
Just eggs people on in the
Well, if he
middle of the
intentionally
highway.
does it, he's not gonna care if I say his name.
Well,
Fair enough.
just
That's true.
I don't like it.
I like to think that you're just like having a moment, like you're just like you're both like nicely talking in the front of the car, like I don't know, like eating a sandwich or something stereotypical cartoony looking, and there's just a dude walking by and he sticks his head out in the car. He's like, "Hey, you want to fight my friend?"
That's the stuff he does. Or like, hey, this guy's name is Gary, and he says you're stupid. Or like, he'll say harsher words than that, but like that was like me.
Hey, this
He's
guy says
PGing it up.
Gary.
He says you're a poopy head.
Like that was just me PGing it up for the sake of the podcast. But like he'll say some things.
Oh, does he do that whenever he sees a cute girl or something?
Well, every time he's like ask her out, and I'm like, no.
It's like the
And he's like, well, I'm gonna do it for you. I'm like, don't. And then he's like, well, if you don't do it, I'm just gonna start saying really embarrassing things about you while she walks by. And like and most of the time it's really dirty stuff that he says.
Of course it is.
Because what else would it be?
Yeah.
I mean, he could make it extremely sad and just completely like off the radar sad.
Dude, it's
How's
okay.
your prostate cancer?
Dude, it's okay. Prostate cancer is very common. Just like,
We're all men. It happens. It's okay.
how did you feel when that doctor shoved his finger up your butt for your prostate
I don't want to
exam?
talk about this.
That's what like he'll be saying, and he'll say
It's like that's what you
loudly,
should respond with. It's just like, sir,
sir.
I don't want to talk about it.
Can I move tables?
Me in class. There's my pet peeve.
What's your
Really
pet peeve
big one. A Joker origin story.
Joker origin story.
Level pet peeve. If you fart in someone's general direction and don't excuse yourself, don't even acknowledge it, and in fact, look them in the eye. You either better know them well or you're related. Because I'm sitting there in Western Civ, and we are not going to say any names,
I
and I
know.
doubt they will ever find this.
Connor,
I'm not.
We're
gonna
looking
say
at
a
you.
name. I'm not
Yes.
gonna say a name. Well, the other one wouldn't care.
Yeah,
This
the other one
this
wouldn't care.
yeah, but
this
you do
one
it all the
does.
time.
You
This
do
isn't
this.
the first. Yeah, this isn't the
The
first
very
offense.
first episode, you're like, oh yeah, he lives in this area, and I was like, Connor. But this guy.
You once knew this guy. Who knew this guy? Who knew this guy?
Oh, I wish I didn't. See, I doubt he'll ever watch this, and he'll know who he is. And like, I tried. I am being nice. I am being nice, but there's a certain point where it's like you have farted with your
At me.
anus pointing at me twice. The first time he like had one leg up in the chair, sitting like with his back against the wall because we're like on the wall.
Right.
I'm on the chair that's like two-person desk, and I'm more towards the aisle. And he's got his leg up, and it's like it's anus pointing at me, and he just lets one rip. And I look over, and he just makes eye contact with me, then looks back up at the screen like nothing happened. It's like something. Like, I know not everybody will excuse themselves when they pass gas. It just is what it is. But if you make eye contact, and you know that you were on the rocks with them, you should apologize or say, excuse me.
You know another pet peeve?
Doing it a
Wyatt?
second time, I really could really think about it. Like, I'm going to take my my gorilla-sized palm and wrap it around your face.
You know another pet peeve?
What's
Farts
that?
that you think are going to be quiet.
Oh
but
my
are really
God.
loud. That's my pet peeve. You're like, okay, I can let this one go. It's going to be really quiet. And then it goes...
I was thinking that's when you should edit it, and someone should edit in like the really loud, like echoing fart noise that's like everywhere on the line right now. Just like, whoa.
That's my favorite Adventure Time episode is when like Jake is gonna be like it's gonna be silent.
It's
and
gonna be
then-
silent.
And then he just like lets it rip, and it just goes,
Echoes.
it just echoes, and everyone's
Throughout the
looking at him, and then
entirety
Finn's
of
just
hell.
looking at him like I'm gonna kill you.
It's going to be quiet. It's
They
going
go
to
to
be
the
quiet.
underworld. Right after that, Jake loses all of his memories.
Oh, and that other one where it's like on the it's not like Adventure Time, but it's that video of the dude on the roller coaster, and he's like, God damn it, no, and he just like farts. He's like, oh, and they're like, oh my God, someone farted. And he's like, ah, and the roller coaster goes.
I thought you were going to talk about one I've seen where the dude goes into a loop after he farted, and he's like screaming before they get to the loop. And he's like, no, 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 no. And it, like, you see it fall.
The turd?
Yes. You see it fall. It's like, this is...
Does it hit someone's face?
I don't remember. I just know the video ends shortly after that. Because I think I would have put my phone away, too, to be like, oh my god, they just got crapped on by another human.
They literally got smacked in the face. But someone's face met contact with midair and just exploded on their face.
I'm thinking if they like got to the top of the loop to the point where it falls, I'm thinking it probably would have just fallen on the track. Unless it was like a really long strip of cars.
Or a really long strip of poo.
That would be astronomically bad. If it like suspends, it's so long it suspends itself.
Okay, let's not talk about.
Is there a problem with going on 20 years old and talking about poop humor, Connor?
No, there's not.
Farts are funny. Poop is funny.
Open finger claps.
Yay!
So another pet peeve that I have.
Yes.
It's called bandwagon fan, like people who are a fan of something because they hop on a bandwagon.
So
like they're
Marvel
only
after 2016.
They're only a fan because everyone else is a fan, or because the fandom is like growing. So they're like, hey, let's. But like some people, some of those people actually turn into real fans.
Right.
So like some of those people turn into real fans, but some of those people are they just say they're fans because they're trying to be cool.
Posers, if you will.
Posers, exactly. Like
people who wear skateboarding clothes but don't skateboard.
Right.
Don't
exactly.
attack me. Don't.
You don't exactly wear like Thrasher shirts.
I didn't wear Thrasher shirts, but I used to wear.
I'm like, or girls
honest,
who wear
skateboarding shoes though are like really comfortable.
Girls who wear like metal, not just girls, boys. I'm pretty sure, but there's an example of a girl doing this at our high school who wore a Metallica shirt. And then my friend walked up to her and was like, "Can you name 3 songs from that band?"
See, I think that's almost different than bandwagoning. That's almost like this area of like where it's become like such a area of pop culture that like people are just like, oh, everybody else has this shirt. So it's like bandwagoning, but a different kind, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's almost like what I would consider like the bandwagoning that I know and despise is like when Captain America's Civil War came out. And there was a bunch of people that did not give a crap before. They were like, oh, Marvel movies. And after that, people are like, Team Iron Man! Ah, Team Iron Man! Like, I didn't even know you liked these movies. I didn't even know you cared.
Or people who are a fan of superheroes
calm down.
Only because they're angsty or hot.
Yeah. Like Loki fangirls before the show.
Before the show, because
before
now,
the show,
after
like,
the show, you're a Loki fangirl.
Damaged. Like, the show actually develops him as a person beyond, I want to kill my brother.
Or
and
Bucky,
take the throne
or
of Asgard.
People simping for Bucky.
Yeah, who also had barely any real characterization before Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
I think he's been in the most movies and has had the least amount of character development out of all the characters.
Right.
He's been in like how many movies?
Like Loki. Let's see. I'm gonna name the characters that I think have had the least amount of like character development before their shows.
Before Phase 4.
Yeah, and that's literally Loki and the Winter Soldier are my first 2.
Yeah.
Literally. Like following that is going to be Falcon.
Right.
Because really he hasn't had much. And then Wanda and Vision.
Wanda went from being Sokovian and having a thick accent to being American girl. And they actually, I'm glad they addressed that in WandaVision.
Yeah.
She's like, "Where's your accent?" And she goes, "Where's yours?" Like, yeah, where is it?
Oh, and then a huge one that like character. That like technically they did have a little bit of quote unquote character development that none of it you actually see, so technically none of it makes any sense. It's between 2 movies that anyway. Black Widow. That's a huge bandwagon. Endgame came out and Black Widow died and everybody was like,
"Oh yeah.
Oh no, Nat's dead." It's like, one,
it should have been Clint.
You're referring to her
up.
as Nat. Like,
right.
That's just weird to me. And I've known this character almost my whole life.
Yeah, they're calling him Nat because that's what the other Avengers call her.
Right. That's
and by
the
other
area of
Avengers, I
bandwagon.
literally mean Hawkeye is like basically the only one who calls her Nat.
Right. I think even everyone else refers to her as Natasha.
Right. Or
Maybe,
Romanoff.
maybe Hulk.
Or Romanoff. Oh, yeah, maybe
I think
Banner.
Banner, he
Mhm.
refers to, like, referring to Bruce Banner and the Hulk as two different people makes sense.
Right.
Because they are two different personalities. And, like, Steve
Mhm.
Rogers' Captain America only makes sense when you bring up that now Falcon Sam Wilson is also Captain America now.
Right.
But I think it's so weird that, like, that influx of people who came into Marvel because Marvel became popular
Mm-hmm.
would refer to characters as, like, oh my god. Like, when I say Iron Man, you know who I'm talking about. And they'd be like, Tony. He's so funny. I love Tony. Steve. I love Steve. It's like, call him Captain America.
I'm getting to the point now where when I talk about Iron Man, I literally just say RDJ.
Right. To me, that also makes more sense
like-
than saying
Like,
Tony.
there's only one Tony Stark. And
There's
it's
only-
Robert Downey Jr.
Right. I'll be talking about Iron Man. I'll be
One
like, so like
singular
RDJ. I
man.
mean, RDJ is not actually Iron Man, but he is. But he is.
He
He
pretty much
is.
has encompassed the character at this point.
I love it.
I'm so glad Tom Cruise didn't get the part.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
my god, no, we wouldn't have even had the rest of the movies.
I know.
Tom Cruise is so...
Could you
Tom
imagine? Like,
Cruise.
if someone else got casted, we might not have the MCU.
Literally.
Like, like think about it. That's crazy.
It's serious. Like,
Like-
it's on the ball. Like, if somebody else was casted as Captain America, we probably would have got another movie.
Well, John Krasinski was almost Captain America.
Right. And I
Which
think
would-
he would have done a great job.
That would have been. Looking at it, it would have been weird.
Hulk literally got recasted.
Literally, like actually,
So did Rhodey.
True.
true.
Even then,
That's my favorite recast.
He wasn't like
Only
the main
because of the way
character,
they
though.
address it, though. Only because of the way they address it.
Oh, yeah.
In Iron Man 2, where he walks in, he's like,
Yeah,
it's me. Stop talking about it. Let's just go. Like,
Right,
that's not the
I like
exact
that.
quote, but like that. I love the way they address that. But yeah, the Black Widow thing is totally.
It's
yeah, I agree.
weird to me when they refer to characters, especially characters in Black Widow, by their first names. Like, there's some of them it's like, okay, that makes sense. But, like, Red Guardian, it's weird when they call him Alexei. I
He's
feel
Red
like
Guardian.
that's weird. Right. And then, like, Iron Maiden,
Mm-hmm.
who is, like, the surrogate Black Widow mom
Right.
figure in the movie.
Yeah.
That makes sense to call her by her name. Nobody knows her comic book name. Nobody gives a crap about her comic book character.
Mm.
No one does. I promise you, there is no one out there who's like, oh yeah. Well, I was about to say I'm an Iron Maiden fan. And I was like, there's a band
Iron Maiden.
called Iron Maiden, but like the character, no one's out there being like, oh yeah. Like, even Darkhawk has more of a following than her.
Right.
And Darkhawk sucks.
Darkhawk sucks.
Like, anybody that's like out there and they're just like, oh yeah, I'm a Darkhawk fan. I really want to, like, I want to give you a wedgie.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't even want to hit you. I just want to, like,
who the hell is
pull it up.
Darkhawk, by the way?
I can. He is. Think about the 80s.
Okay.
Make an anti-hero.
Okay.
You know what Vigilante, the DC character, looked like in the 80s?
Yep.
Kinda, yeah.
Imagine that, like the red visor,
Yeah.
and then imagine some more purple,
Okay.
so a little bit of greens.
Okay.
He's got a bird cape. And
Oh,
he's
so
got
the
like
Prowler, but a bird.
a kinda, and he's got like a Tokusatsu Power Ranger looking outfit kind of deal.
Tokusatsu.
That's what it is. And then he's got knives on
He's
his
got
hands.
knives.
Like, if I'm not mistaken, they kind of like come out the top of his wrist. I think sometimes
My
his
hands are
costume's either like a
knives.
dark purple or a dark
I
blue.
got
There's some
knife
yellow or
hands.
some green. But like, it's like looking at him, it's just like, God, it's like, what are you? What is wrong with you? It's like somebody just like made a character and too many people got attached to this. It's like awful. Like, Rom the Space Knight was a toy tie-in for Marvel Comics, and he was a better character than you.
right.
I don't understand the following he has. It's weird. I can name one fan by name, and that's Dan Avidan from Game Grumps.
He's a fan of Darkhawk.
He's a fan of Darkhawk. I don't know why.
There's a reason I don't watch Game Grumps anymore.
It's different
It's different.
now
So
that he
different.
came out as a Darkhawk fan.
Ever since he came out of the closet as a Darkhawk fan. I just don't like Darkhawk. You can look up a picture of him. Every time we say Darkhawk, somebody throw a picture of Darkhawk.
Every single time we say Darkhawk,
Just flash it on.
Darkhawk,
Darkhawk?
Darkhawk.
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 It sounds like you're saying
Yeah.
Darkhawk.
Speaking of Doc Ock, love him.
Love that guy. Love him.
I want Doc Ock to kill Dark Ock.
But that used to bother me when people would refer to him as Doc Ock when I was like a little kid for some reason.
Doc Ock.
Yeah, that bothered me. That was like I was a little kid. I think it's because he might have been like one of my favorites.
It's Doc. Be respectful. It's Dr. Octavius. Oh,
Like
you.
Octopus, I was cool with.
Dr. Octopus.
Octavius, it was like, okay, whatever.
Dr. Octavius.
But it's like saying Doc Ock. It's like that's what Spider-Man says when he's trying to make him angry.
Right.
So I was just like, you're just being a jerk.
What's your name? Dr. Otto Octavius.
Right?
No, like, what's your real name?
I like that was a scene in the trailer.
I know. I hope that
he.
he says, after they ask what his real name, he goes, Dr. Octopus. That'd be cool.
That would be, yeah. God, that, like, there's a lot of pet peeves that really fall into that category of, like, all these movies.
Right.
And I'm avoiding a big one because I've mentioned it many times before.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys have told me to lay off of it for a while.
What?
Zack Snyder.
Snyder bots.
Oh.
Because it's all the same circle. They're just like, boycott Warner Brothers. We want more Snyder movies. It's like, oh, God. Do you guys understand that he can't make a movie?
I think he can make a
Hey,
movie.
some
Connor?
of people's favorite superhero movie. There are people. Think about this, Wyatt. There is someone out there whose favorite superhero movie is Justice League: The Snyder Cut.
Yeah, but at least that's still better than Catwoman, so I'll give him that. I've met people, their favorite superhero movie is that Catwoman movie.
Halle
It's like-
Berry's
The Halle
Catwoman?
Berry
Yes,
Catwoman? Why?
yes, because they're dumb, Connor.
I think that just offends me. I'm offended.
I was gonna
that
say,
kills me inside.
after we're done recording, I'll tell you who, and you'll feel even worse.
I'm offended.
Trust me. But like
Oh,
Snyder
God.
Cut, it's like I can see parts where people are like, "Oh yeah, this is good," and I can see parts where it's like, "Snyder, you almost did something. You almost had something, and then you did something stupid." Like a 3-minute scene of some Scandinavian lady sniffing a sweatshirt. I'm serious. It's like there is no reason for this to be 4 hours long. I went into this wanting to watch a superhero movie, and I left thinking I just did a chore.
I think the Flash scene was a good scene.
It was okay.
I watched.
Every
Started
Flash
watching
scene
this
in that
movie at
still
6
bothers
o'clock.
me because of the actor, which is out of Snyder's control, and then some of the writing is still dumb, like verbally, which I think is still under him, like under someone under him. You know what I mean?
I
Like
guess.
someone else is part of the job.
So, are you excited for the Flash movie?
Kind of not, but only because Michael Keaton. Like that's the part I am excited for. Everything else, it's like, oh boy, more Ezra Miller.
Right.
And now he has a worse looking suit. Like, what did you do? You saw that teaser from DC fandom.
Yeah, he
It's
kind of.
like,
What is the? I want to know. Like,
it's like no wonder everyone that works at
I
Warner
feel like
Brothers
the Flash
is an idiot.
cowl is just so hard to do in live action.
Go overhead.
Right.
It's
Well, and see,
not-
like
it's
the
not
Flash
hard.
cowl in season 1 of the Flash, and season 2 of the Flash were good.
If they could adapt
And then they
Captain
kept
America's
experimenting
helmet,
with it.
they can adapt
Right.
Flash's cowl.
Right.
They adapted Star-Lord, Rocket Raccoon, and Groot into the Hollywood mainframe.
Yeah.
They can do Flash's cowl. They just are paying the wrong people. Just like the people who designed Steppenwolf. They are
Mhm.
paying the wrong people.
Honestly, James Gunn should head.
Wasn't Steppenwolf a regular-looking dude?
He's a regular looking dude.
Yeah.
And the Snyder Cut finds a way to make it even worse. Like, people talk about Whedon's is awful, but it's like, you know what? At least he looks more like a dude, and when you take the helmet off, the horns aren't part of his head.
Right.
That
I
is
will
the
give you
worst
that.
part.
I will give you that.
And
The
it gets-
horns was weird.
It gets worse. When the helmet thing comes off of him in the Snyder Cut, the horns aren't horns. They're covered in skin. The little tips of them
Yeah.
have little horn bits on them. What is this? Have you seen... Mr. Snyder, have you ever read a comic that wasn't Heavy Metal Magazine?
He has.
Connor, we both know. That is not a true statement.
I'm okay with the Snyder movies. I'm sorry.
They are awful.
They're not.
The only one that's okay is Man of Steel. And even then,
What about 300?
300's a piece of shit. I want that in. I want my parents to hear that. I want that on my grave. The comic is shit. The movie is shit. I hate 300. I hate 300.
Watchmen.
Watchmen's okay because I actually don't think he did it himself. I think he had help
What about
from
the
Jackie
director's
Earle
cut?
Haley. I still think he had help from Jackie Earle Haley. Earl Haley. Earl? Early. I don't remember his name. The guy who played Rorschach, who's always wanted to play Rorschach.
Yeah.
I think that man had more sway over that movie than he should have, and it helped the movie.
Mm.
Because if you look at that, it's like, oh, this part was done by Snyder. Wait a minute. This part is out of his category, out of his realm. This is not something Snyder would normally do. So he either had like a stroke of creative genius in The Watchmen, or somebody helped him. Because you can see it in his other movies. It's like, okay, this is like this. This is like this.
Yeah.
This
God imagery.
Yeah. Everything's a Christ figure. It's.
Yeah.
I like that the Snyder Cut did do better with Batman, though.
Yes.
So much better.
Yes.
Especially
Batman
like the
smiled
gauntlet
and
things.
Whedon.
Oh my god, the Batman stuff was easily the best part of that movie because it wasn't stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They made Batman better in that cut, so it's like, thank God you did that. There's positives in that movie.
I want to see.
Did Snyder do
Can we see a Zack
Batman
Snyder
versus
Batman
Superman?
movie?
Yes.
Okay, we'll see.
And his
Like,
original title for the movie is even worse.
what was it?
Son of Sun, Night of Night.
Yeah, that's stupid.
It's
But
really
let me
dumb.
just say, the Batman stuff in that movie was really good,
He also
in my opinion.
doesn't understand the story that he wanted to adapt
Mm-hmm.
about Batman.
Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah, he's like, in that story, Batman kills.
He
doesn't. He doesn't kill people. He hurts them real bad.
Like branding. Like,
Yeah.
Like you.
Oh, in the movie, he
Yeah,
brands people.
yeah.
In the comics, I think he does with the Batarang. I think he does that in year one.
Yeah,
Well,
he,
he
does
did-
that in
he-
year one.
He
It's year one, isn't it?
branded a bat with a batarang on the guy,
Right.
which I was like, nice.
That's in the playbook. That's a Batman thing. I accept that.
I
But
think Batman-
killing.
Batman is the best part of Batman versus Superman.
Totally.
Like the.
It's the
I think
easiest
that's
to
one
watch.
of the best
Until
Batman
you
fight scenes
actually-
we've ever seen on screen is the one where he goes through the warehouse.
The fight scenes are some of the best Batman things we've seen.
That's what I said.
His detective work hurts my soul.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Well,
yeah, but
'Cause
like that Batman isn't necessarily all that much of a detective.
No. He has the technology to do everything that he totally could have.
Yeah, I know.
And
but-
you see him do the right amount of work in Justice League. So
Yeah.
that means that movie completely sucks. It negates everything he did. That's why doesn't Batman know who Superman is? I want you to look me in the eye and tell me
because
what is the
Batman's
logical
usually always
reason-
the first one to know who people are.
right.
What's that Justice League? Was it a show? Was it the?
Now we're just talking about superheroes again.
Well, this is all
Yes.
kind of based off of Wyatt's pet peeve of Snyder.
Because there's a lot. Actually, this fits into a lot of things. There's a lot of people who will say things about superheroes.
Let's see the
'cause
Ayer cut.
I'd watch that.
Are
Even if
are
it's
you
awful.
sh-
I'd still watch it. I still was totally sure that I was not going to like the Snyder Cut, and I still watched it. I wanted to watch it. I was hoping for something that was at least as good as Watchmen, dude.
You know, it's a pet peeve of mine, Wyatt,
What's that, Gary?
that they can't make a good Fantastic Four movie.
This falls into that realm of what I was talking about. They don't understand. It's not that hard.
They can't make a good Fantastic Four movie.
Everyone's just like, "Oh, this needs to change so that way I can do this."
And then
It's like,
they-
it doesn't. Just do what it
they-
says.
and when they tried to do it again, not the 2007 film, but when they tried to in
like the one
2014,
from a few years ago.
well, in 2014 when they tried to do it again, they took
Made it
inspiration from the
worse.
worst comic book run in history of the Fantastic Four,
Which one was that?
the Ultimate Universe.
Oh yeah, Ultimate Fantastic Four wasn't all that great.
No, it was awful. And then they were like, "Hey, see how bad this comic book did? Well, now we're gonna make a movie about it."
To
No.
be fair, that's what a lot of people thought about this new Spider-Man movie coming.
Right. We'll see. Like, because it's a pretty bad. Like, the comic book was not popular at all.
Right,
That
but there
it's-
was also
they're
another
taking
comic
inspiration
after
from.
that, though, that is much more similar to the movie. Film Theory has a video that talks about it, because I don't remember the name of the other comic.
Are you
Lots-
talking about No Way Home?
Yeah.
Well, they might be doing something that,
'Cause
like, completely
there's
different.
one where Doctor Strange does the whole thing instead of Mephisto.
Right.
That's an actual comic, and instead of, all the bad things happening, like cosmic space divorce, essentially,
Mm-hmm.
and Aunt May coming back from the dead, he gets to talk to Uncle Ben for a little bit.
Nice. Nice. Do you think Aunt May's gonna die in this one?
I'm thinking maybe.
Everyone thinks Happy's going.
I think it'd be weird to kill Happy.
I'm like, what has Happy done?
I think it would be easier to keep him alive, have Aunt May die. That turns him against Spider-Man.
Who? Happy?
Yes,
Why?
because if Aunt May's dead, Happy Hogan, he has, like...
No one left except for
Right, like...
Pepper and
The
Morgan.
the little girl that he does probably see them pretty often, to be fair.
I would. I mean, they've been in each other's lives
Why would
forever.
that turn Happy against Spider-Man?
Spider-Man was there when the bomb exploded. He probably could say something like, "You could have done more." The same thing they do in every comic when someone dies. They're like, "You're a superhero. You could have done more. You could have stepped up and did better, but
it's
you let
also
them
his
die."
aunt.
You could have superhero better.
Right.
Okay, we have. Okay, hold on.
It's the same comic
I'm
book
gonna cut- I'm
situation
gonna-
we've
I'm gonna-
seen for 50 years.
I'm gonna cut you off. I'm gonna cut you off right now. Okay, so we have time for one more pet peeve. What do you want to talk about?
Connor, you name the pet
Connor,
peeve.
you haven't talked about a lot of pet peeves, so we need a good pet peeve that really gets your gears grinded.
Like,
I
man.
don't have a lot
Piss
of them,
drawers,
man.
Well,
shit
make
socks.
one up. No, don't make one up. Just like think. Like what aches you.
Water in your socks.
I mean,
Ketchup being squirted
What
all
is
over your
something that
fries.
someone does in Taekwondo class that you, whenever you see it, it just makes you mad?
People that don't follow the safety standards in a robotics area.
People, whenever they,
Wait, before you start.
ah,
Back to Peeves. Connor,
okay. Shit.
What was that?
we can cut it so that way we miss a lot of the Spider-Man shit.
No, it's fine. I will keep that a lot of that in. It's fine.
We don't need a lot of that in there.
We do. So whenever you're cutting a piece of metal or a piece of wood,
Yeah.
you let the saw do the work,
You let the saw get up to full speed.
and you let it get up to
Yep.
full speed. You keep.
I
on
think I know where
going
you're going with
consistent.
this. and I
People
agree.
pushing it down and tearing the freaking thing and damn near killing themselves, or people not going fast enough and just like burning it and it'll get freaking caught in the metal. The amount of times I've had to yell at kids like, "Yo, keep it consistent." Like, come on. You're going to kill it. You're going to kill yourself if you don't keep it consistent. Keep it consistent for the God's sakes. And then people mismeasuring and okay, I'm not gonna. Nope. Not getting too much into that because I'll get pissed off.
Measure twice, cut once.
Measure the rule in robotics is measure 3 times. We had to measure 3 times.
Measure twice, cut once.
Measure 8 times.
Cut twice.
Measure. You only need to really, if you're cutting multiple boards of the same length, you really only need to measure one time. I mean, not one time.
Technically.
Sorry. You really only
Technically.
need to measure one cut because then you could just place the thing over and make a line. You only need to measure one cut, really.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I know.
I did not mean
Special
you
man,
only
that's-
needed to measure once. You only need to measure one cut
Yeah.
because then you could just.
But some dumb kids, man, some dumb kids. Oh my god.
Oh my God.
My biggest pet peeve, and like, I'm gonna go back to my Woods class. I did Woods 1 and 2 because they were both like filler classes. Woods 2 was so like dumb because I already knew how to do. I already knew over half the machines. The only machines that I'd never seen before were, and I've probably seen them. Really, the only machines that I've never used before Woods 1 was a planer, which you put the board in and it basically just shaves off a little at a time to make the board flat, like on like this part.
Oh, I love those.
So, and then I never used a joiner before,
Oh yeah.
but I've seen those machines, and it took me like 5 minutes to figure out what to do. But they were like showing us what fences were. They were showing us like what like how to measure properly, which was that's to the tape measure thing. They were showing us like, hey, don't put your fingers in front of the board when you're cutting them. Really?
No shit.
You need to tell us this?
You'd be surprised.
There are some like Darwin Award winners in there.
I was gonna say, I knew someone that worked at a Planet 7. You'd think that you should take better care when you're cutting the meat, right?
Right.
Because you're using like a deli slicer.
Mm-hmm.
Dude chopped off his finger.
That's so.
Not the dude that I know, but
I mean, and
a
accidents
coworker of
happen.
theirs.
But like, it just seems
Oh no,
like
they've
so
cut their
like
finger
so
before.
obvious.
It's just that they finally, when they cut it off, they were like, "Dude, you were a liability. Get out."
Go.
Like, you can keep this job until you're healed up, but like after that, GTFO.
You know, it's another pet peeve. We have 5 minutes when restaurants get your order wrong.
I thought those were one thing together. Those are two separate things.
God, I hate when.
Restaurant
It's
or like through the drive, like
That's why I don't like Steak and Shake.
I'm like, right.
Every time I go there, an order's wrong. Different locations.
Right. And when you go out to like a nice restaurant, so like most of the time I don't send food back. I'll just eat what I get because I've waited 30 minutes to get the food, and I'm not about to watch everyone eat while I wait 30 minutes because in 30 minutes they're going to be done eating.
And
so
then you're
why
just
would I
there.
I hate that. I hate that. And then especially like through the drive-thru, you go through the drive-thru, especially a packed drive-thru, and the place gets your order wrong. What are you supposed to do? Especially now where like
can't walk
dining
in.
rooms are closed.
So it's like, listen, you idiots.
And you know what's another pet peeve of mine? I work in a box truck. We can't go through drive-thrus. Screw you if your dining room's closed. Okay.
Well, a lot of them will let you come in and order.
No. False. False.
there's a
They look
lot
at
of
us
them
like
that
we're
come-
stupid. Sorry, our box truck is 13 feet tall.
I know one Taco Bell that you can walk inside the lobby.
I know, like a Wendy's near my house. You can.
Is it the Wendy's by the Lowe's?
Yeah.
You can walk inside the...
Yeah.
Connor.
Yeah.
You can walk in?
And their dining room's open.
One time,
I'm gonna
we go to Go Chicken Go,
commit a
or I
crime.
don't. My Luke told me the story. He went to Go Chicken Go, and he was standing in the drive-thru because he really wanted Go Chicken Go, and he couldn't fit, obviously. And the owner pulls up, and he's like, "Are you joking?" He's like, "No, your dining room's closed." And the owner walks in, like basically kicks down the door, and's like, "What the is going on here? This guy drives a box truck, and you guys are so effing lazy to not open up the freaking dining room so he can get something to eat." And like the owner just goes off on these employees, and Luke got free Go Chicken Go that day.
Honestly,
I'm like,
I'd feel bad for the people inside, but at the same time,
I
free
would not.
Go Chicken Go.
I would not feel bad because
I mean, what time of the
he
year
said
was it?
they said that the
Because
owner was saying the dining room was supposed to be open. They just put signs up because they didn't want the dining
they literally just
yeah,
didn't
they
want
got
people in there.
caught with their hand red. Like they got caught
So
red-handed.
that means it wasn't that long ago.
No.
Okay, yeah, that's a bigger problem. Now I don't feel bad for him. I was thinking
Yeah.
like if it was like
No.
March
So
2020.
it was the general manager.
No. This was 2021 that this happened.
Okay, then
like-
yeah.
No, it was the owner of that location. It wasn't the manager, because the manager apparently got his ass chewed out, because like this owner was like just yelling and Luke,
Going all out.
yeah, and Luke's like,
Dude.
"Well, I got free Go Chicken Go that day," and I was like, "Well, dope, man."
Now to Wendy's to do that. Let's call the franchise owner. Woo!
Yeah, let's just start busting down the doors on McDonald's and see what happens. It's like, I want a free Big Mac.
And on that note of Go Chicken Go, I think we are out of time for this week's episode. Please make sure to leak a live.
Leak some likes our way.
Leave a like on this video down below if you haven't already. Please make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and click that bell. I always forget about the bell, but this is my second week remembering it, so hopefully I continue to remember it. Wyatt, what is the secret word for this week?
Our secret word this week is octopus.
All right, secret word is octopus.
We said it once.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.